Welcome back, guys. So some more interesting stories from Peseiro revealing his frame of mind. Before he actually quit the Nigerian Super Eagles job to lots of interesting events in South African League and also in across Europe in the Eredivisie League, where some of our players actually got into action. Yesterday, of course, was famous for Champions League that was played. Lots of games obviously being played. In the last video, I talked about some of our players who partook in these games. But we also had two of our Nigerian players who, became an enemy yesterday evening, in the South African PSL League. And of course, it was a game between Orlando Pirates and Chuba United. You already know the guys I'm talking about. Nwabali, obviously playing for Chuba United on the night, and then Olisa and that making a strong appearance for Orlando Pirates. It was a game that Olisanda and Orlando Pirates won. 2-1 was that game. It was a very cagey game. It actually even had to come from behind because Chuba United were leading one goal scored by Jali in the 22nd minute, and then later on, towards the end of the first half, the Orlando Pirates equalized and then ended up winning in the 90+1 minutes. But great appearances for our guys. Nwabali, as usual, had a very strong showing for this game. Played for 90 minutes, 5 solid saves. But unfortunately, they lost that game. And for Olisanda is actually a very, very established player in this Orlando Pirates team. He always, plays 90 minutes. Every time he's fit. There wasn't any difference yesterday. He played for 90 minutes and had some really important involvement in that back line to help his team come home with the victory. And elsewhere, we had Chuba Akpom doing some magical things, for Ayers as they completely destroyed Fortuna Sittard in their Eredivisie league by putting 5 past this club side. Chuba Akpom got on the score sheet in the 87th minute, and this result obviously pushes them to the helm of the Eredivisie League with 15 points from 5 games. Second place, AZ Agma, with 13 points from 5 games. And definitely I'm glad for this man because Chuba Akpom is someone who needs to be getting goals. I want him to be getting goals every time he gets the chance to play, especially for this Ajax side, because it just feels like he is not very appreciated. He's underappreciated, let me put it like that, despite getting the goals for this club. But in terms of his performances, he played for 90 minutes. He had 6 shots, 1 assist, 1 goal, which is incredibly impressive for the young man. But let's leave that. Let's talk about Joseph Peseiro. Peseiro has now come out to tell Brila FM that even if he had won the African Cup of Nations with Nigeria, he still wouldn't have signed a new contract, or he still wouldn't have stayed with the Super Eagles. This is the latest that this man has now come out to tell Brila FM. He said that it's not a question of whether he didn't get the backings from his staff. It wasn't a question of whether he didn't get the support from the boys or from the Nigerian government. They said, on the contrary, he got all the support that he needed from all of these parties. But the pressure was just too much for him. The pressure of handling Nigerian Super Eagles was extremely too much for him. It was weighing him down that he decided, within himself that even if he wins, like before the final, he decided that even if he wins the final against Ivory Coast, he wasn't going to renew the contract. He was going to resign because he could not bear, the stress of handling the Nigerian Super Eagles. This is what this man has said. They actually recently linked up with Coach Nwabali, who's currently the caretaker of Nigerian team, and then Coach General, who is the current coach of the Benin Republic in the CAF symposium for coaches, which is the first of its kind. And their aim with this whole symposium thing is, according to CAF, to talk about how to develop and improve football in Africa. I sure hope they are discussing about how to incorporates VAR in all aspects of the African Cup of Nations, especially in the qualifying rounds. We know that they use VAR. You know, in the last Nations Cup, we actually saw VAR in use. But I would also like to see them implement this VAR in the qualifiers round, because this has really cost us. Of course, if you remember the last game against Rwanda, we had a goal disallowed. Lukman scored a goal. It was disallowed for a foul play from Semi Ajayi, who got the assist, when in fact that was a very, very clean goal. There was no foul, you know, in that scenario. If VAR had existed for that game, we would have gotten all 3 points from that match. So, but no problem, you know. Of course, we're still leading that African Cup of Nations qualifiers group with 4 points, you know, from 2 games. And then October, we are going to regroup again and then play 2 more games with Libya first, you know, at home, and then later we'll travel to Libya to play the second leg. But that's the update for this minute. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share your thoughts about any of the stories. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned.